What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Just me today. I thought I'd let the rest of the team have a break after our long weekend at Comic Salopia, and what a weekend it was. We worked so hard on that, and we got some amazing results as well. Met some amazing people. I'm so proud of my team, and we really came together that weekend. So yeah, I'll give them a week off. And this week I'm bringing you almost kind of two podcasts in one. There is a talk at the end of this that I have with Aleks, who's been on the show a couple of times. This is his third time. I think we talk a bit about the Flaxmill. I'll elaborate on that at the end of the first half of this episode, but it's really worth listening to. But the first half of this is going to be the Open Gardens event in Belle Vue, which is part of the Belle Vue Arts Festival. Such a brilliant event. I had so much fun meeting new people. So part of the festival, a lot of the locals in Belle Vue, they opened up their gardens, 21 of them in fact, opened up their gardens to the public to invite them to come in, have a wander around, speak to them, have a cups of coffee or tea, and it's just a great way of the community getting to know each other. I've never seen anything like this before, and I think in the interview when I spoke to Chrissy about this, I displayed my fascination about this, and it really was everything I wanted it to be. I started off in the Trinity Church, which is just opposite the Masonic pub, and that's where I started, and the heavens opened. And it started raining, and I managed to huddle underneath a tent and speak to Todd, who's the minister there. Real nice chat with him. I think I'm going to start off with his interview, and then I moseyed on up towards Trinity Street, and got to meet a great group of people there who offered me a coffee. Stood and I had some coffee with them in their conservatory. A real nice chat with them. And then that street behind Trinity Street, there was a house there that was open as well. And the heavens opened again. It was pouring down again. And we got invited into the conservatory to sit and wait for the rain to stop. I found myself surrounded by strangers. And it's been illustrated on this show many times, mainly by Jodie, that, in these situations that I can get socially awkward, but I've really just felt welcome. And I was surrounded by strangers. We're all chatting away. And I felt so comfortable, and there were a bunch of kids there. They were curious about the microphone, so I invited them to do an interview, and they did an interview with me, which was great. And so just thank you to everyone that was that kind and invited us into their gardens and homes and just so willing to talk. It's really nice and friendly. But I've saved the creme de la creme for the end, and it's a great chat I had with an amazing lady called Maureen at the end. She's got a garden that's tucked behind the railway bridge opposite Lunt's Chemist, and she's got this amazing, it's like stepping into another world. You come into that garden, you forget where you are. All you can hear is the wind chimes blowing, and this garden just goes on and on and on and on, and it's so big, it's beautiful as well. And I invited Maureen to have a chat, and at first she was really, really nervous to talk to me, and it's one of the most insightful chats I think I've done on the show. She told me so much about how the railway had transformed, and how she managed to put this garden together over decades, and she's got these amazing carvings in the tree at the very bottom of her garden, and she tells me how they came to be as well, and it was a real honour getting to sit and talk with her, so that was quite cool. This first part of the podcast is going to be the little snippets of conversations I managed to have with people, which illustrate how great it is to live in Belle Vue. So if you're from a different part of Shrewsbury, please just take a listen. It's a great insight to people's lives in Belle Vue, and it was a real honour to bring this to you. So here you go. I enjoy this, and I'll catch up with you at the end of this first half, and I'll explain to you what's going on at the Flaxmill. Okay, peace out. What's going on here? Hi. Okay, so my name's Aleks.
Hi, Aleks.
I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
Very
I don't know if you've heard of us. I'm just in Belle Vue, just up here.
Oh, great.
And today we're walking around the open gardens today for the Belle Vue Arts Festival, and just as the heavens have opened.
Yes, they have, exactly. Well, we were praying that they would stop from, keep the rain at bay, that God would keep the rain at bay long enough for us to finish our service, because we had our church service from Holy Trinity Church here in the Vicarage Garden.
Yeah.
Last year we're an open garden,
but
we couldn't open on time because we had our church service beforehand in the church, and we said, why don't we just bring it all over here so we can open on time?
Yeah.
And God did hold back the rain just long enough for us to finish.
I got around, I came just in here just as you guys were like in full chorus.
Yes.
I got to see you guys singing and stuff, which is great, bring it out into the garden, let people hear you and sort of, let people embrace you, the neighbourhood, it's really nice. What are your plans today? Are you going to be here all day?
Yes, we'll be here all day. I may have to escape for a little bit to bring our puppy out for a little walk because he loves people very much and he's going nuts inside the house.
I imagine.
Seeing all these people here, not being able to come play with everybody.
Yep.
But other than that, yes, I'll be here all day.
Fantastic. Are you going to take the puppy for a walk around some of the other gardens? Because there's
possibly
21 gardens to get around.
21. I know, it's the most they've ever had.
I'm going to be walking around with a very water-sensitive microphone in this rain today, so it's going to be a challenge, but what's the goal here with this Open Gardens sort of event?
Well, it's the primary event for Belle Vue Arts Festival, and it's an opportunity for people to come and see. People maybe don't always think of a garden as being art, but the amount of time and care and attention to detail that goes into creating and maintaining a garden is amazing.
Yes.
And for me as a minister, I think of what God did when he created the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
And when I'm out doing work in my garden, I always just really think about how amazing it is that we can transform something that is just sort of a blank canvas of weeds and who knows what into something that you can really enjoy and sit back in and relax.
Even in the rain.
Even in the rain.
I'm pretty sure the mic's probably picking this up, but it's well and truly lashing it down now. We're underneath a tent though, it's great. But I'm pretty sure I'm stuck here for the rest of the day now.
Well, you're welcome to stay.
Todd, thank you very much for chatting to me.
Alex, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Can I get your names?
Tom. Maisie. Emma.
And Emma. And today we're doing the Belle Vue Arts Festival Open Gardens event. And it's raining. Are you still enjoying yourself despite the rain?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Great fun.
Yeah, so how many gardens have you done so far?
3.
3? It's nice, isn't it, getting to get around and meet people from your community, isn't it? Yeah?
All good fun.
Yeah. Which has been your favourite garden so far? A bit awkward because you're stood in somebody else's house, but
I like this.
I like this one.
this one's good, isn't it? They've got the faces, looking for faces around the garden. Is there anywhere you're looking forward to going?
There was one that had a train last year going around their garden.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is, but a miniature train going around the garden. So we're trying to find it.
What's the map?
Yeah. And there's lots of scarecrows about. Have you seen many scarecrows in people's gardens?
Yeah, I've seen some at the end. I've seen this one that had like a wedding on there.
Wedding dress on.
Yeah. There's one just on Trinity Street down the road. He looked like a scientist. He looked like he was doing an experiment. That was quite cool. You have to find that one. That's really good. And how long are you going to be out in this rain for? Are you going to try and brave it for a little bit longer?
All day.
You're going to do it all day, yeah? Get all 21 gardens?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What an achievement. That'd be great. Well, thanks for chatting to me. This will be added onto a podcast. I'm going to put together loads of snippets of chats I've had with people. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I hope the sun comes out, okay?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thanks. This is the beauty of it. Okay, so I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Phil, representing Phil, Alice and Jess from 31 Bitter Street. It's Open Gardens Day on the 9th of June. We've had sunshine and lots of rain.
Lots of rain. The sun's coming out now, but it's still raining. It's a very odd day. Why open up your gardens for today? What's the goal?
We had a break last year, and we opened the previous 2 years, and I think the hobby of gardening is nice to share with people.
Yep.
And I think it just helps cement your own ideas, really. just to share and give people ideas, and we go around other people's gardens and we pick up ideas in the same way.
It's brilliant. We were just talking in the conservatory actually, just about why our garden's important. It was really, I'm really gutted I didn't press record actually, because it was a nice conversation. What do you think is the importance of having like this space outside that you spend so much time on?
I think it gives you a place to unwind, and to have extended family without the confines of indoors, and of course just being in the fresh air, and just seeing different things, and being able to utilize space and enjoy it, because I think everyone feels that if you can't get up and out, then the garden is the extension of the room, for all ages.
And so I've got a little boy, which I know if I spent days on end pruning plants and making things look pretty, they'd just be ruined within. So I'm after just a nice slab of grass for now until he gets a bit older.
Until he's older.
Yes. And today it's nice people coming in to see what you've done, right?
Yes. It's interesting, and of course a lot of the people that come know more about gardening than I actually do. So it works both ways, but it gives you a sense of.
So you're gonna have a wander around and probably pinch a few ideas of other people.
It gives you a sense of pride and sharing, really, which is what we should be doing with everybody, no matter what it is, whether it's sharing a meal or sharing a garden, or just enjoying time with people.
As I came into this garden, it was pouring down with rain, and I got welcomed into the conservatory, given a glass of water, and we just sat and had a chat with people I'd never met before, and that's the beauty of this whole thing.
And now we're standing in hot sunshine with black clouds around us, so it's and still people are coming to have a look, which is fantastic.
It's brilliant. Well, look, thank you very much for chatting with me. I'm going to go around and speak to as many people as I can.
That's
this
lovely.
will all be mashed in together to make something great.
Yes, well, again, it's another advert for Belle Vue as a community, Shrewsbury as a whole, and extending it further to Shropshire.
I think these events, I love them. I mean, you got lovely land in Castlefields. You got this in Belle Vue. It's like bringing communities together. I think it really helps, especially if you've just moved here. You can be like, oh well, actually, there's an open garden thing, and you can get to meet people. And like, I've moved from out of town. I've been here since 2017, and like this is I've just met you for the first time. And this is beautiful. I love it.
Yes, it's great, because you never know when you're going to need the help of someone. And obviously it's always, everybody helps everybody, whether you're a stranger or not, but you just make new friends, and it's just lovely. We've all got something to give to each other, I think, and I think Open Gardens is just another tool.
I always imagine it's like, there's nothing sadder than thinking about two lonely people living next door to each other, not knowing that they both need company.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is great. Thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr.
If I've got anything, I'm not really the gardener, so.
Well, it's fine. I'm Aleks. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Thank you so much for sheltering me from the rain.
Okay.
It's one of them days today at the moment where we've got a bit of a break in the weather, a bit sunny, but a few moments ago it was absolutely teeming down with rain, right? And
it's good for the garden.
It is good for the garden.
Well,
I hope so, because I've just sown a load of grass seed. I think I was just telling you, and it's just been drowned in rain for the last 3 days. So hopefully something good will come out of it. Well, I think that's the beauty of today, isn't it? Is that I'm walking around, there's rain, and I walk into your conservatory, and I'm surrounded by strangers that I'm meeting for the first time, and we're all chatting away, and I think that's the beautiful thing about this open garden thing. Yeah,
I think it is about gardens, but isn't it about growing a community and growing friendship and connections and people meeting each other? So it's more than just growing the plants.
It really is, and I've been living here for 2 years in August, and we've met such an amazing community of people, group of people. I mean, our row of houses all get on anyway, but every time I come and do something like this, attached to the biscuit, I make so many nice friends. It's brilliant. So it's great to encourage this. How have you found today? Have you been enjoying it?
Yes, it's fun. You never know, who's going to turn up or how many people are going to turn up, but we always have a good crowd, and it's lovely. Mixture of ages and people and backgrounds and situations, and some people are really keen and knowledgeable gardeners, which is great, and other people just want to come and have a little nose and see what's around.
I'm terrible. I was just explaining that I've got a 4-year-old boy, and it like I could spend hours and hours or days and weeks pruning plants and making it look nice, but he just destroy them. So at this stage of life, I'm just after a nice flat slab of grass for him to run up and down on. So at the moment, I'm kind of like any kind of weed I see, I'm kind of like, bye, goodbye, you know, get off my grass, get off my lawn, you know. So it's great, but this is beautiful to see. I was just talking about these row of houses. You wouldn't believe the gardens that are attached behind, you know, because...
Well, I think in the olden days, I mean, these are 1850s, even earlier, built originally as part of the railway, you know, housing the railway workers and so on. And I think they always recognised how important the gardens were, and people were sometimes keeping livestock and producing a bit of produce.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of money. So I think that was recognised in the past.
Like an allotment attached to your house.
Nowadays, houses are so small and people have very little space. But I think whatever space you have, you can still have something green. And I think that's important for... you know, for people to be able to do, isn't it? And people to be encouraged to have a little bit of green and grow something.
And we were just talking, we had this conversation just, and it's a shame I didn't press record, because it was a really cool conversation about the importance of gardens and that kind of stage in life where you start appreciating the garden a bit more. And what was the conclusion we came to?
Once you wear a scarf, listen to Radio 4 and have your own house, it's when you start to appreciate them, wasn't it?
So Jess, my 16-year-old daughter, asked a very important question, and she asked yesterday at her granny's house. So granny's 91 and is still gardening, and she said, at what age do you get interested in gardens? What age do you like flowers?
Excited by plants.
Excited by plants, and that was the answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you know, it sort of evolves with you as you develop and get older.
And the importance of like not just having it, but like your mental health as well with it.
Because it's all well and good just throwing a massive patio across your garden, but like there's something about putting work into something.
And it takes time, doesn't it? Yeah, it takes time. Those ladies were interested. So that the lady who was in London, and she said how important it was
to just go to the park.
Go to the park and have some green in her life, and how important it is for her now.
In Shrewsbury, it's everywhere.
She's got a very stressful job in the health
Well,
service.
life can be so fast-paced sometimes, can't it? So to be able to like wind down and just relax, it's really important, isn't it?
Do you think you'll like gardening when you're older?
I like everything being neat and tidy, so probably I'll have it. But I don't know if I'll do it myself.
And will you wear a scarf, Jess?
No.
Will you listen to Radio 4? No.
I think
gardening, but not scarf.
I think a deep fear of scarves have been ingrained in this poor girl. She's gonna.
It's every time I leave the house, Mum's like, wear a scarf. It's like, no.
I could just see her walking around George or something in Aston. Scarves, get away from me.
So you can enjoy gardening, darling. You don't have to.
And
you
never
don't have
Radio
to,
4.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
You don't have to buy into scarves or Radio
See,
4.
I'm starting to get into Radio 4, but I'm a podcaster and they do lots of talky stuff on Radio 4, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Infinite monkey cage for me is one of the best things ever. But thank you for chatting to me, and I hope the sun stays out and people come and enjoy your garden more.
Yeah, bring your son next time.
I will do.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Okay.
Yes, it is.
It's beautiful. I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and where we are at the moment?
Yeah. My name's Phil Watton. We're at 56 Montague Place.
And you are?
I'm Pam Watton.
Pam Watton. And so I'm having a wander around today, looking at people's open gardens. And how have you been finding today? It's been good?
It's been great so far, considering the weather, which turned a bit nasty about an hour ago.
It did.
But we've had over 130 people so far. And everybody seems to be having a great time.
Yes. As I was walking in, people were smelling the flowers, and a lady's just come in and said it's an explosion of colour, which is true. And the gardens vary so much around here. Yeah. You know, they've got big, long gardens, they've got tiny little gardens. I live in Bestford Square, and I've got a tiny little
I was going to say, it's dictated by the railway, isn't it? So where the railways cut through, you get a garden.
So sometimes you're lucky to
get anything.
Yes, we have a friend of ours who's got a garden probably 5 times the size of this. It's just 100 metres down that way, so it's just potluck basically.
Yeah, this garden it's not massive, but you've done really well with the space. I mean, this is an audio podcast, so describing what I can see, you got lots of like wildflowers, roses, beautiful colours. I mean, I'm not a plant connoisseur. I can't tell you.
And if people are asking me what the plants are, I don't know, but it's very pretty.
Yes.
So yeah, planted a lot of things, but I don't remember the names.
A lot of what I've been saying today is I've got a 4-year-old boy, so if I put lots of effort into putting these in, he would probably destroy it. So
I'm going to say the grandkids aren't allowed to play in the garden.
Yes.
That way.
So a nice strip of grass is great for the kids. So yeah, I mean the best part of this is, you know, meeting new people. I mean, I live around the corner in Bestwood Square, never met you guys before, and yet I'm stood in your garden chatting, and that's the part of.
It's been smashing meeting neighbours that we see in the street, but they're actually here and talking. You know.
Yeah.
Smashing, really
yeah,
good.
we've seen a lot of faces that walk past because Pam's got a little display of hostas out the front. And so people stop and talk about those, and to actually get them in the back garden and talk to them has been great.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, lovely to chat to you.
Well, nice to meet you.
And I hope you get more than another 130 people come and look at your garden.
What
Okay.
we need is some genuine June warm weather.
We do.
It'll dry out again.
I'm having the same problem with my brand new lawn. I don't want it to be flooded. I want it to have a chance at life, not get drowned. The last 3 days it's been nothing but torrential rain, you know.
No, it can't do any harm.
No?
Because I don't know if you've noticed, with that torrential rain, if you went out with a little trowel and did something, it's only 2 inches deep, that water.
Yeah, it
You know,
sinks
it's-
right in, yeah.
This flourishes so well down here because of the water from the road. It sinks through, doesn't it?
Brilliant. So it makes the
So
ground
it
really
ends up
fertile.
down here.
That's brilliant. Well, I'm Alex, anyway, so it's nice to meet you. Do you want to introduce yourself? We're recording now for the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Do you want to introduce yourself to my listeners?
I'm very nervous.
No, don't worry about it. It's
Very
fine.
nervous. I don't know what do you want me to say. I mean, what a pleasure it's been to open a garden to people who appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because they do. Everybody who comes here says, "Oh, I didn't know this was here," and all.
But that's the beauty of this event today. This is why I fell in love with the Belle Vue Arts Festival, is because it's encouraging people to get out in the community, meet new people, and explore areas. Like I've walked down streets today because I've only been here since 2017. I've walked down streets I've never even walked down before, and it's amazing. And it's because of this event, and I'm so proud of it, you know.
Oh, that's lovely that it's done some good as well.
It has. We were just talking about the rain just then, and it's because of that rain. Somebody invited me into their conservatory to duck out of the rain, and that is where we started a conversation, talking about meeting new people. You know, there's friendly people out there inviting people into their house out of the rain. You know.
Yes, because they're in a place where they. So you've all got the same sort of thoughts when you go there because you're interested in that.
Yeah.
You know, there are lots of people who wouldn't dream of going walking. What am I going around a garden for? It's only a garden, isn't it?
So we are at a cottage which is tucked behind the railway bridge opposite Lunt's pharmacy.
That's right, yes, that's the chemist on the corner.
And this garden is huge. I walked down here, didn't expect it to just keep going and going and going. It's huge. And I guess that's the luxury of living next to a really noisy railway.
We've got a
right?
row of cottages here.
Yeah.
And all the other 11 of these cottages have an alleyway at the back and that bit on the front.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go out there where everybody's looking at you.
Yeah.
They've got nothing at the back. This one was the station master's house.
Oh.
So he got a garden, which is that one behind the house. I have my own garden there as well, which I don't open because I think there's enough here.
There's plenty of it. And you were telling me a story about a plant you got, a very rare plant you've got in this garden. I found it fascinating. Can you share that with us? Yeah, Brontocereus.
Want to see it?
Yes, let's go and have a look. Yeah, if you don't mind. So this.
Only because it is so very rare, and I'm likely to be the only one in this country.
Yeah. Definitely get a picture of it. We'll share it on our Instagram. Just walking through this amazing.
Long while to build the paths, and you know I built them with what I have dug up in this garden, because the railway used to come to here.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 bridges.
Wow.
And 2 sets of railway lines.
Oh wow.
Originally.
Oh wow. So underneath the ground, there's lots of leftover from the railway.
Yes. Dug everything up.
Wow.
And used it all.
That's absolutely
And
fantastic.
then when I hadn't got enough, I used to go around all the nurseries and say, You got any broken slabs?
Look at now, it's beautiful. There's twisty, windy paths that go around this garden.
Yes, I built them all. I don't know how I did it, really.
So we're going to find this very rare. I feel like Attenborough right now. As we walk through the garden, we find the rare shrub.
That's it.
Oh wow! Wow, this is fantastic. It looks like something out of a fairy tale, doesn't it? You know.
But can you see these vicious spikes on it? I mean, if you caught your hand on that and you can't see it, you know, it doesn't look like it's got spikes, and they're dreadful things.
Yeah. So what is the origin of this plant? And you're saying how rare it is. Where is it? Where does it come from? Where did you get this from?
Mexico.
Mexico. And you said it was like possibly one of the only one in the country, right?
Yes, that's what I was told by the people at Posy Throwers.
It's fantastic.
Because he couldn't believe I actually had one. I just broke a bit off when it's in flower. These are white flowers to start with. And there's one, just the tail end of a flower. And I broke a piece off. He said, "Where did you get it from?" I said, "From my plant." Nobody has it. Nobody has it, except in Mexico. I said, "Well, I've got one." And they are really vicious.
They are. It reminds me of The Lion King. There's a scene in The Lion King where Simba runs through all these thorns, and they're like, "Oh, he died. He died. Nobody survives those thorns." It reminds me of that, you know, because it is quite vicious looking, isn't it? And you're saying
yes.
they use it for
Well, it is. As I say, if you suddenly put your hand in there, you'd be ripped apart by these things.
Yeah. You said they use it for fencing.
Yes, in Mexico.
In Mexico. Fantastic. Well, thank you for showing me that, and thank you for inviting everybody into your garden today. You know, it's. I think it's about to rain again.
Oh dear.
So.
Oh yes, look at that lot coming over.
Yeah. Well, thank you for chatting to me.
You've been down to the faces and you've seen everything.
Yes. It's beautiful.
And that long walk down there to the faces, you've been down there?
No. Does this garden keep going? Is there more to this garden than I've already seen?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So this is all that's garden.
Okay. This garden carries on.
Hidden garden. This is the hidden garden.
A hidden garden.
There are 6 damson trees here, and last year they produced 75 pounds of damsons.
Fantastic. Oh wow. What did you do with all them?
I couldn't do anything. I have to, because I'm still working in the garden.
Oh wow.
Every day of my life I'm out here. So I managed to pick 75 pounds and froze them.
Oh, make some jam, I suppose, couldn't you?
Yes. But damson gin's very nice.
Damson gin.
And it was so nice I made damson whiskey.
Ooh.
And then I made damson white rum.
I'm coming to your house at Christmas. It sounds great.
Very nice drinks. This is my scrapyard. As you can imagine, I use all this up from time to time. And people knock on my door in these cottages because we're all like-minded. We want to keep it at 1866. So if a bit of wall breaks down, you need some bricks.
Yeah, you need to keep that.
Them for the same era, so I keep everything.
Fantastic. So you don't have to go out and fish.
Don't throw anything away.
Fish it all out. So I only did half of this garden. I did the first half, and then it just carries on. Wow, I've seen the pictures of these online, and I've
somebody told me that. I didn't know. Somebody must have taken photographs of them and used them.
Did you do these?
No. Oh, good heavens. Like everything else in this garden, I'm very lucky. It's a real blessing to me. I had well, it's up there, I'll show you on the back, a little wooden carved man like that, little tiny one. And I bought it at a church jumble sale. And then one day I turned it over and there was a gold sticker on the bottom with the name and telephone number of somebody in Oswestry. The code was different because it was so old that things had changed since then, and I just thought, I wonder if he's still there. So I changed the code and I phoned him, and he came here. I said, come to my house. And I said, if you do carvings, he said, that's all I do. I said, what do you mean that's all you do? He said, that's my living. I said, but I just bought this little thing at a church jumble sale. He said, oh, that's before I learned how to do it properly.
Wow.
And he came and he did these. And I said, could you carve a face in a tree? He said, I can do anything. Is that what you want? I said, yes. One in these 2 trees. He said, I said, but how much is it going to cost? He said, well, there you are. He said, it's a day's work and I charge £300 a day.
Oh, wow.
I said, then I won't have them done. Nice idea, though. Go and I'll go and make you a coffee. And he said, can I look round? I said, yeah, help yourself. Came back an hour later, thought, where the hell is he? He must have gone home. And then I heard him. And I said, where have you been? He said, round your garden. Never seen a garden like this in my entire life. I said, really? He said, yes. Should we say 100? I said, yes. So he carved them.
And they're beautiful.
He now has an enormous sculpture outside the Houses of Parliament.
Wow.
And he's currently carving 12 life-size apostles for the Arboretum.
Fantastic.
So he's world famous now.
Do these have names?
No.
No? They're beautiful. Obviously this is an audio podcast, you can't see the visual, but I'm staring at 2 trees right now and have one looks almost like Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Very wizard looking.
Yes.
And the other one, like Gimli, very long bearded faces carved into the wood.
His face is like, I can see you.
Yeah. He's kind of side-eyeing me at the moment. Yeah, that's brilliant. These are magical, and I hope that they stand the test of time because fantastic. So lucky. It's been lovely. What was your name again? Sorry,
Maureen.
I think Maureen.
Yes.
Maureen. It's been lovely to talk to you, and your garden is fantastic. It's definitely my favourite so far.
Thank you.
Say, thank you very much.
I love it to bits. I really do.
It's fantastic. So that was the Open Gardens part of the podcast. Now we moved on to the Flaxmill. There's lots going on at the Flaxmill at the moment, and I got invited by Aleks to come and sit and chat with him. This is the 3rd time I think he's been on the show, and it was really nice just sitting and chatting with him about what's going on there, because the building's been transformed. And it's going to become office space, and the offices are going to be used to encourage kind of new ideas, innovation. It's going to become a real kind of thinking hub of Shrewsbury. I think I'm really excited to see what's going to come of that. There are a few issues at the moment with funding for repairing important parts of the building, and one of the most important parts is that beautiful crown that sits on top of the Flaxmill. And one of the ways that they're trying to fund it is with a crowdfunder. This crown is beautiful, and it's been on the building for 200 years. Okay, and it was to commemorate Queen Victoria. That's how important it is. And it's like the cherry on the top of a cake, it's kind of, that's the important part of the building. And, they're struggling to get the funding. So they need 26 grand to fix this crown. And I think it's worth the investment. And, if there is a crowdfunder page, and it's a crowdfunder.co.uk/crowning Shrewsbury. Take a look at that. Chuck in a couple of quid and see if you can do your bit to save a bit of Shrewsbury's history. And another way they're trying to bring people into the Flaxmill and to generate interest is with the Flaxmill sessions. We talk a bit about that in this interview, and there's lots going on there. Originally, we decided that I was going to put the Shrewsbury Biscuit forward as kind of a compare. For that event, we were going to go on stage and kind of introduce the acts. It was just I really want to start doing that with the Biscuit. I think we can do that. But me being me, I kind of double booked her, so I realised I got another engagement on that weekend. So we won't be doing it on the first session, unfortunately. But hopefully on the next one we'll be free and we'll be able to help out. So yeah, this is what's going on at the Flaxmill at the moment. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm going to leave you at the end of this. If you've got any comments, just drop them in our Facebook. You can write to us. Our email is shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. And if you have any ideas, if you would like to come on the show, if you want us to cover anything, just drop us a line. If there's things you like about the show, if you things you don't like about the show, again, just drop us a line. And so yeah, I'm going to leave you with this, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out. So yeah, now we're recording. Aleks, my man, this is like the third, fourth show we've done together.
I think it's 3.
We did. I don't know, but
that's the ones I remember. But we've chatted all the time.
We need to stop doing this, man. People are going to start talking, you know.
Well, to be fair, I'd rather do it more. We can go classes in session.
You're like a reoccurring star on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, you know.
We're gonna develop a learning side of it, and then I can come in and smash people's heads with facts.
I like that. Smash your heads in with facts. I love it. It's been a while. How have you been? You been okay?
Yeah, pretty good. I've moved on from my previous job, lecturing at the moment, so that's kind of new stuff for me. Lecturing students, pretty interesting gig, but at the same time, sometimes really weird.
Yeah,
because it's like 20-year-olds, and I keep thinking I'm kind of close to that age, but I'm not anymore.
You're as old as you feel, you know?
No, but because sometimes I go like, I'm down with the kids when I'm doing the lecture, but then I realize like I'm probably looking like that guy, you know, trying too hard.
Yeah, it's suddenly like music just makes no sense to you at all. It's just weird for me, you know. I'm trying to keep in touch, but anyway, we've got a gentleman with us today as well. We're sat at the Flaxmill at the moment in this giant warehouse. It's pretty cool setting, to be honest, to do a podcast. It's very rustic. Do you want to introduce yourself to the guys, the listeners?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name's John. I'm from Bootleggers Events. We are originally from the Alb, or people may have known it as the Old Albert. And I'm here with Aleks, and we're setting up these topical events at the back of the Flaxmill called the Dye House.
Yeah, this whole thing is called the Dye House. I really like the name of it. So a couple of times when we talk about the events, we're like, oh, it's at the Dye House, but really people know the Flaxmill. So we always, that's why, you know, the events, we've called them the Flaxmill sessions.
So this isn't actually part of this, it's on the site, but it's not part of the...
It always was a complex of things, right? Like, that was probably a storage thing. Well, it was a dye house, wasn't it? Jesus. Yeah. It was where they were dyeing the clothes.
I think they were dyeing the clothes.
It does sound quite sinister, doesn't it? Welcome to the Dye House.
DYE, folks.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about the Flaxmill, okay? Now you're working at the Flaxmill, I guess you get lots of questions. What is the Flaxmill? Where is it? And stuff like this. And it's a really important building, right?
Quite an important one historically. Obviously, the guys from Historic England that are handling the project or friends of the Flaxmill can tell you a bit more. But why it's important to people like us is because buildings that are of importance, historic importance, tend to kind of host really cool new stuff. It's become a trend across the country, reusing the old buildings. And the fun thing that happens while the regeneration process goes on is that they kind of need somebody to come and bring it to life, you know, and get people in so they can see what's possible in these new regeneration projects. And, you know, from a kind of an urban development, you know, people that have theorized about it from when that was being done in the States, they tend to say, you know, like new ideas need old buildings.
Yeah.
And it's in a weird way, it works. It is inspiring because you have the history, especially here. With the Flaxmill, it was the first iron frame building in the world, right?
So I did share a post recently on our Facebook that was just, you know, described it as what it is. It's responsible for any skyscraper that's been built in the world, in essence. So if you own a skyscraper, you're welcome. Yeah. Come to Shrewsbury, see what it will look like at the start.
5 stories, but it's the kind of grandfather of skyscrapers, isn't it?
Yeah. It's quite like for a 5-story building. It's got quite a presence, hasn't it? The Flaxmill is quite big. Like you see it from pretty much all around. And what you were saying about like new ideas need old buildings, I think that's really cool because like if you walk around places like Liverpool, things like that, they've got like I remember we stayed in Liverpool at like a Premier Inn or something, and it was like an old dock building, and it's just fascinating to walk around. They've got this like top of the range like Premier Inn because it was quite nice for a Premier Inn, you know, and like it's quite nice to bring new things to an old rustic setting, you know. It's got a nice feel to it, so.
I'm almost worried that we're too late for the trend, though. You know, it's a bit saturated, but you know, we're going to try to not just do that with our events. I think it's. Is it a
trend, or is it just a way of being sustainable?
Well, I actually just had this conversation with a guy that works in sustainability, because obviously our first Flaxmill session is going to be on the topic of sustainability.
We're you see what I did there with the segue.
Nice one. Yeah. We're going to have, you know, workshops and talks, local traders, street food, and kind of some music. in the event, and we are going to be theming it on the topic of sustainability. But yeah, I talked to someone about that, and they said it looks like it's very sustainable, but it does take quite an effort in the process before you kind of refurbish.
Yeah.
So
well, it's been going for a while.
Give or take, but then at the same time, it's like not everything is black or white, right? I think it's when you invest in that and that inspiring nature of these buildings, for people to think, oh, you know what, we can reuse the stuff that's around here rather than, you know, create everything from scratch.
Yeah.
I think that's very important, because I think that's, you know, how they link it to this creative ideas thing. It tends to be theoretically, because creativity, you know, other people can argue other way, but it's actually not original at all. Most of creativity is remixing, you know, old stuff like hip hop.
Like, let's buy in loads of the classic rustic furniture that we all threw out of cafes in the 80s. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what, I wouldn't always agree with like pouring millions and millions of pounds into an old derelict building that's at the side of the road, because you don't always have to save them. But the Flaxmill's important, so I'm kind of glad that they're kind of giving it a bit of a.
Especially in the north of Shrewsbury, that, you know, people kind of sometimes pretend it doesn't exist as part of Shrewsbury. I mean, I'm from the outside, so I can say that. I mean, I've noticed it. It's like you walk around the pretty areas, it's nice, and then the north of Shrewsbury, sometimes it gets forgotten. So it's good they're going to get something and a bit of attention, a bit of investment. It's
nice to see that there are people that are kind of investing a lot of time into community projects, like Claire from Lovely Land, for example. You know, she did the yarn bombing of the footbridge over at Castlefields. You know, and it was kind of it was from what I imagine, it was a resounding success. There was people all walking all around Castlefields, then a nature trail, you know, and it gets people walking through this part of town, and you know, it's quite exciting to see.
Yeah, we timed it from.
They put these things that you put microphones on, put a spring on them, so they thought, oh, that's
nice
a good
and loud,
idea.
aren't they?
Yeah.
But we timed it from the train station to here, and it's a 10-minute walk. So
10-minute walk.
10-minute walk, 5 minutes, and halfway there's the bar on the way, isn't there?
Yeah.
The
it's just
bar.
People's mental maps, you know, as they say. They've got like when it's outside of the loop. It's like you've got 2 bars that have managed to really make it work in Frankwell, and then everybody else is just like, oh, is it too far?
Yeah,
but I think Shrewsbury's growing. We obviously don't have a census information from since 2011, but I have a guess that the population here has increased massively for the last 5 years. I mean, I've lived here for only 5 years, so I don't know.
Yeah, and it's great to get people, all those new people, I guess, coming using parts of town that, like you said, they don't tend to wander up to. And they are working on connecting like this with the prison and the prison with the town, aren't they? With like a cycle paths and stuff.
Yeah, part of the big town plan. So there's, you know, both councils and the business improvement district.
Yeah, and hopefully it's signposted well enough for people to know, because I'd like to any shortcut. I mean, look at me, any shortcut with walking is a bonus for me. So what is going on at the Flaxmill? Because it's not just this sessions thing. There's loads going on in general, isn't there?
So well, for the things that we're gonna do, we've planned in 4 sessions, and I think I need to back up, you know, as to why we're doing this kind of stuff. And you know, I helped organize the Darwin Festival initially, which was celebrating this kind of curiosity and independent thinking, and we're just continuing with that, continuing on a smaller scale and kind of inspiring people that have ideas to not just keep them in their heads, but see them applied to their, you know, places. To do that, we can always, you know, we can just discuss it forever and wait for someone to fund it from the outside. But what we decided was to actually map out through a series of topical events who's around, who can contribute, come up with some ideas, but also test, and feel free to be commercial about it as well. Yeah. So the sessions, each on a topic. First one is sustainability. Then the next one, we've booked it for the end of next month. And then we're going to do one each month. So the next topic is creativity. Then we're going to do learning and innovation. And what you probably find out with these topics is they tend to be the softer aspects of, you know, the big town plan has a lot of things that are about the buildings. Yeah. But I'm more interested in humans. You know.
I mean, I think sustainability is quite a vague kind of area, isn't it?
Yeah.
and that was the kind of joy of it. I mean, we're not in the most sustainable building. We're not, as you know, it's got wooden panels on the side of the windows instead of double glazing to keep the heat in. but we need to find ways together of getting together. And
discussing what it's about, because we're not pretending to be whiter than white at all. So we're kind of the host of this. So we're going to try our best, but we're
going to learn as well as
we're connecting with people that are really into that. So we're going to we're having someone from Extinction Rebellion come and talk. We're going to have people that are experts in their field from, how do you recycle, what can you actually do.
You sure that's a good idea? Extinction Rebellion they're a great bunch. They're making some real good noise at the moment, but they're quite a loud bunch, aren't they?
Well, we need that. Radical change is kind of necessary.
I want to get them on the show. I do want to get them on the show, and we can have like a Joe Rogan-esque chat about climate change, because it really is important. You're right. We do need that. What are they going to bring to that extinction?
Well, they've basically managed to get the government to acknowledge that there is a climate crisis.
Emergency.
Climate emergency, and our local town council, like, big up to them. They've reacted very quickly, and they've announced a climate crisis already, and there's an action plan from that as well. We're trying to see if someone from the town council can talk about that as well. We have I think we have one green councillor in the town as well. So, it is the right place to talk about. I feel like people have not talked about it openly. Being green has always been a bit like, are you going to do something?
Yeah.
But we're trying to reignite that. You can do the small things. They still matter.
And Shrewsbury is one of those towns that's getting better at it. Like with the Shrewsbury Cup, for example, let's limit the amount of plastic and paper cups that are running around, and give you a cup that you can reuse. I've got one at home that I tend to use if we're going into town. There's so much going on. There was a shop as well, isn't there? Like, is there a carbon, like a shop that? I'm pretty sure in one of the malls there was a shop.
Where there is. I did hear about it, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, we need to get them on the show. Maybe get in touch with them for this. That might be a good idea.
We spoke to them. They are interested in coming to do a talk, but they said that they are inundated with talks and workshops and trade stalls and stuff like that. So,
and that's good news, right?
That's great, isn't it? They do a lot of reusable products. They do a lot of, bring your own tub and fill it up with oils and stuff like that. And
nice.
Yeah, it's good for the environment. Very sustainable.
What does this sustainable session look like so far to you?
Right. So, at the basic of it, we're going to get people in with some live music provided by Albert Shed, and some food and drink provided by Bootleggers. So, we have to have something to get people in.
Yeah.
So we're getting some original songwriters to come in and perform, because that fits in with kind of our overall idea of kind of just not copying, being creative. But at the same time, we're going to have the talks and the traders and the workshops being kind of themed for sustainability for this session. And then the next one will be more towards creativity, then learning, and then innovation. So the whole initiative is not about just sustainability. It's it's kind of one of those things where everybody should consider. Actually, our first session was scheduled to be on creativity when we were originally planning this, but, we thought if we're going to be topical, that's kind of what's in the discussion now.
I think we discussed maybe the biscuit could make an appearance at this. This is quite good. We're kind of getting a bit louder. We're supposed to be one of these kind of medias that you can listen to with headphones, but now we're like on stages and stuff. Like, it's crazy how that's happened.
I was telling you should get into the game of tacit experience, as they call it, stuff that you can't transmit. You had to be there. When people say, "Oh, you had to be there," because that's where digital technology is allowing people to be online and be somewhere kind of not with each other, but that's actually caused a big trend in live performances and people enjoying when they're actually with each other.
Yeah, well, I think there's potential for us to kind of branch out into kind of hosting events. I think we're definitely capable. I just need to lose a few pounds, because we were talking about Face for Radio. Definitely got one of them. So we'll work on that.
Feeling cute, I don't know. Might delete later.
So when's this happening then? The first session is
22nd of June, 12 o'clock. We're opening the doors, and we're going to be open until 8. So loads of times to come in and check out the workshops, hang about, eat some street food, have a drink, have an adult beverage. And stick around if you want
take
to.
Take a walk
for the live
in,
music.
though, because I think we were talking about the emphasis on kind of encouraging people to take a walk up here.
It's 10 minutes from the train station.
Yeah.
So.
So if you are listening to this and you do want to come up, just walk in, man. So hopefully it'll be a lovely day. Fingers crossed. It's at the end of June, so what else have you got planned for the creativity? Have you got anything like sort of headlining that you kind of excited about yet, or is it still early planning?
Yeah, that's the thing. So the people that we're managing to get in. What I'm quite interested in is every time I chat to someone to come in, I actually don't go and tell them, you should come in just as a customer, because we do want more people in, we do want more tickets sold. But what I go with is, if you come in and do a talk, are you passionate about something, then you can get in for free. And that's kind of our business model. And most of the people go, yeah. A lot of times, then they back out because everybody thinks they're going to be great at public speaking, but then sometimes people chicken out. But we've got a good lineup, and I'm most excited about the Extinction Rebellion thing because I think that we have to be a bit more radical because no one else would be.
Yeah, I mean, I hated to sound really negative about them earlier. I'm just nervous about the whole thing because I just
we all are.
No, we don't. Like you said, we don't talk about it, and we need to. Yeah. You see this tiny little corner of the front page of a magazine about climate change, and then you flip over the page, and there's a Volkswagen, the brand new Volkswagen Passat with a 3-litre engine on the next page. Yeah. And he swore them. It's very bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, how do you get systematic change for that kind of stuff? Because it's some of the people that are around my research institute, where I'm doing my PhD, they're actually really into researching how. So one of the guys that I know actually was researching how Extinction Rebellion is organizing themselves before they were doing it, because they did loads of research on how do you actually get change, and what they did was very organized. So
that's what you've got to remember, is it's kind of non-violent process,
exactly,
isn't it? And
non-violent.
And if you get a chance to see the girl in London from Shrewsbury originally, when she was kind of arrested, it was the most peaceful arrest you've ever seen. It was she had her arms out, her legs out, and she was carried away, and everyone was cheering, and it was the most peaceful arrest you've ever seen. And I think that's where what you've got to take from it is that these guys just want to make a change.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do it in the most British way possible.
Yeah, we're just going to lie on the floor.
We're going to have a cup of tea in front of you until you agree with us.
Yeah.
With the sustainability thing, I'm quite interested in how, what are the possible business models that you can actually, get out there to still make it a viable business for people to be in that, because it's going to get trendy. But what tends to happen is with green marketing is things kind of look green, and then we have to be careful. To not just look green, but be green. And I don't know where the line is myself.
We can look into local farmers, get some local farmers in here, see how they run their business this day and age. Because money's tight at the moment. Does that affect how sustainable they can be?
Well, it's more towards what are you incentivized to do? You're incentivized to make more money. I'm not against money. Don't get me wrong at all. It's just to what degree are people willing to sacrifice long-term profit for to have long-term profit over
how much does it take to sell your soul and the environment with it,
yeah but again, not sitting on my high horse here. What I'm interested about, so very practically for the event, I keep getting these crazy ideas like what would people be willing to pay for that kind of it has a green aspect to it, but it's not a direct consumption, so that we can still make money, right? It doesn't cost you that much. So ideas are probably obviously an obvious way. You share your idea, you get paid for it, because it's intangible. I've been playing with some crazy ideas of having in kind of a money doesn't grow on trees kind of installation that we can have when people enter, and if you pay cash, because we're going to be charging £4 entry. If you pay a £5 instead of the £4, we use the £5, and people would put in what does sustainability mean, to them with a marker on, and then put it on a little tree that we have. We're going to have, the moral of it is that money doesn't grow on trees, but we're actually going to keep the money after that for ourselves. So it's kind of, we're not going to pretend that we don't want to make a living, but are people willing to pay for something without it then ruining the environment? I'm trying to think of stuff like that.
And where's this money going to? What we trying to raise money?
Oh no, this one would be for profit. That's the thing. What's wrong with is it wrong to be for profit? Because always when you say something that's sustainable, then somehow it needs to go to charity. Well, but no. Okay. If we're gonna have sustainable businesses, sustainable business models, they can be, or can they be?
Why not be transparent?
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about. Like, because if you're open about it, because I've seen stuff like that happens in, for example, Supreme. Do you know the brand Supreme of like clothing? They've got like their whole thing is that they're limited edition only, so they only do a certain number of shirts,
different designs and things.
Yeah, and everybody knows that's what it's going to be, and that drives the price up. But their whole thing is that we sell out in order to not sell out. So they always make sure that they produce to a batch, so they know that it's kind of sold out before they sell it, and then they can plan their business.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And like there's lots of work going on at the Flaxmill. It's like, it's been going on for many years, What's the end product, what they're making here? We've just been looking at some pictures over there in the corner. Like,
So we're actually going to have someone from Historic England and from the Friends to talk at the event. So the general plan for here is, and people can have a look at the bigtownplan.org.uk. The plan is to have what's earmarked as quotation marks, the creative industries, which I always joke is what the government doesn't understand yet. When there's something new and innovative, they go, that's kind of creative, like lump it together. So what actually mean is people from very diverse backgrounds. It could go as far as normally the tech businesses, people that could be into some green sustainable businesses, and going as far as the arts and music and entertainment.
Podcaster,
and a
everyone wants a studio up there.
Exactly. But there is general, issues that are around those industries that they tend to be, hard to break into. They require, somehow they're seen as, because they're naturally rewarding, because you're using your head in a fun way, you get underpaid somehow. So what the government has done in other cities is they allow, free use of space in buildings, and that's kind of what Historic England is doing to a degree with, these events that they're programming. We're using this rent-free. So, and they're giving it to other people to organize things, so they
Maybe
can program.
I should speak to them then.
Yeah, just get it in. And I think that's the thing. Like, it's not mutually exclusive stuff. So when you get the how do I phrase that? So when you get these kind of creative types, in quotation marks again, together, they tend to collaborate well, because they need each other. So they can, somebody needs a designer, the designer is there. And eventually what you get is what's called a cluster of creatives. That the southwest of England is making its living based off of that. Then eventually they've got enough people flocking there.
It's a bit like how the old trades used to work, plumbers, electricians, things like that.
Yeah. It's just that now things are intangible. So they tend to flock together, like-minded people. So what they're trying to do is host those people in the Flaxmill, basically.
We found out us doing that as podcasters, we're kind of like, if we get you on our show, can you give us whatever it is you do a little bit of, because we're going to give you a voice, you can give us a poster or something, I don't know, whatever you make.
There's a bit of a bartering thing, and I've seen some of the guys in town exchange desk, for some work.
John, let's talk about you. So what is your role here during all this?
I think it's probably to combine the cluster, as what Al was talking about. So, the Friends of the Flaxmill and Historic England have allowed us to use this space, but we've got to combine the people together to create this kind of symposium, is it?
Symposiums. In Greece.
Al's favourite word.
Oh man, I was geeking off.
Just his little face light up then when he said that.
I'm reading loads of geography and like old school like city planning, and in Greece they used to have actual buildings that were devoted for that kind of thing. Modern symposia only get done in in the academic world. So you go there and it's a little conference, you discuss things, and then at the end there's food and drink. And historically people thought that symposium was a big, but no, it's about sharing ideas and making sense of what it's like, to discuss certain topics, and they had.
Well, people, themes. I think a certain amount of innovation comes from when people are a bit more comfortable and a bit more relaxed, when we've had a couple of beers, you're like, well, actually, do you know what I've got this amazing... I come up with all my... I think two of the names for my shows have come from when I was drunk. And I was like, I've got this great idea. So.
Well, I suppose that's us kind of...
In vino veritas.
That isn't me saying, by the way, go and grab a few beers, because that's where you're yeah.
But if people want to come and have a drink, have some food, meet some local traders, go to a workshop on something, listen to a talk, then hopefully this is the kind of event that would appeal to you. And I mean, everything is a little bit vague with the amount of things that are going on. The genre itself, you could say that sustainability could be based upon the sustainability in the bar industry or farming. Where exactly is it? And that was kind of our thing, was that we wanted it to be open. We wanted it to be open to everyone, and that's the kind of thing that we wanted to create with the symposium and with the kind of amphitheatre. I mean, it's an unbelievable building this is. And
yeah, it's huge.
When we're doing the talks, we're going to try and create this kind of amphitheatre of everyone together, people asking questions, and a real combination of fun and intelligence coming together.
I mean, why I reached out to John to do this, it's because obviously doing the Alb was one of the first bars.
We love
the
Alb on the Biscuit. We've been there before, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's like, how do you create a vibe and coziness is always a really crucial thing. And as much as I'd love to be a polymath and think I know everything, I'm really poor at some execution stuff like that, or just like making it.
It's amazing when you kind of. When you feel comfortable enough to do that, though, I think, because this is why I expanded the team for the Biscuit, because I can't be at 3 places at once. I can't take a photograph to save my life. So we've got Adam who takes photography, and we've got Jodie and Shane who helps me out with the interviews and stuff. So you've got one skill and you've got another, and that's great. And the Alb is grown into becoming a driving force.
And then you can see they expanded into so many other ventures, Eat at 8, which is actually different, right? Totally different.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we didn't really want to jump into
your own business,
like our own business, and Eat at 8 was kind of is a food for everyone. That's the basis around it, and we wanted it to be like a social hub. And what we're doing, me and Al, is an amalgamation of different elements that we've got together, isn't it? This is something that you're good at. This is something that I'm good at. Let's use it together, and hopefully the podcast.
That was my point exactly. It wasn't necessarily to talk about the business, but to be like you and James and everything. You've got the pub, you've got the restaurant, you've got the hotel. You're speaking to people of different clientele. You've got a reach of people that I reckon you could help draw to this part of town, and it's really clever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Really that's going to be a part of it, because you've got good vibes, but obviously this is it's a bit different, isn't it? Yeah. Like, you're always going to cannibalize your business. I remember when I was in my commercial days, but the standard is about 10%, because you naturally you're going to talk to some people, or you have a certain tone of voice in what you do.
I mean, we would actually be taking business away from the Alb and Eat at 8 to come here, because we've got people that are like-minded that go into those venues that would be interested to come here. But that's fine, and that's entirely fine and acceptable, because we care so much about the topics that we're talking about and that we're doing. Sustainability is so important in whatever aspect it is.
And that's one of the messages that since I started doing this show, it's kind of been repeated, is that this town is a town that just works together. There's people out there that will just help each other, and I think it's pretty awesome. So I really hope this goes really well. I mean, what are your expectations for it? Are you going to...
My expectation is to see something that kind of works, and we have a set number of visitors we have in mind, but to me it's more about the soft test. When I sit here and I have some of my friends around, if they come to me and go like, this is cool, because I've been bugging them for years about something like this, like when an idea is shaping up into your head, and I was like, my wife has been sitting through craziness of like, this would be nice to do. So that's kind of my test of like, when they come and it's like, so now when I see it, I get what it is, because until you get the people there that are from these different walks of life that care about this, you don't know what exactly it means to them.
Yeah, and I think it's just great that Shrewsbury's got yet again another great little venue to do something. I mean, like, how many amazing venues they've got through the town, the castle, the prison, now the Flaxmill, it's great. So well done for bringing that to the town.
Absolutely.
It's the only issue with the podcast is that you can't see the amazing building that we're sat in.
Yeah,
right
we'll
now.
have to share it on our social media.
Yeah.
After this, just do a quick Facebook Live. Don't know what the reception's like here, but
4G for everyone who's coming. It's 4G.
Yeah, it's the best.
The best.
Not 5G yet. We're going to fry your brains. Well, we've got half an hour already. We've done so. I mean, this is great. Well, so guys, £4 entry to come onto the sessions on the 22nd of June. It's a great opportunity to get around and have a walk around this great site, as well as meet people that are trying to sell these sustainable business ideas. There'll be music on the stage, great food, drink. It'd be a great opportunity to go around and meet people in your area. So I really do encourage everybody to take a look. Where can people find information about this?
Yeah, the best thing for them to do is to go onto either Facebook, Instagram, onto the Bootleggers Events.co.uk website, or Bootleggers Events Facebook or Instagram, and on there's information on where they can buy tickets and also information on the event itself. So if there's anything that you've missed, it's easy to come up on there.
Will you guys be on Eventbrite or anything like that?
We've contacted them and they haven't replied yet. So
Okay.
Cool. So if anyone from Eventbrite's listening,
No, but you can book online. We were just using a different provider.
Yeah, we're using a different company. So.
But I'm pretty sure you've put in Flaxmill or something in Facebook or Google, it'll come up. So yeah, Bootleggers, bootleggersevents.co.uk. Make sure you check that out, guys. Thanks for joining me. This has been a great little
great
little
talk
session. It's great to chat to you as well. Again, we'll do this in another 6 or 7 or 8 shows. We keep doing this.
Get me in, and we'll talk about something crazy. Maybe we can go crazier this time.
Yeah, we could do. But we'll do it at the session.
Oh yeah, that actually probably is a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably do a podcast from the event.
Cool. Agreed.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you for joining me. Peace out.
Awesome.